All right. So today we are talking about a word the hospitality industry loves to use, resilience. But what if resilience is actually hiding a deeper problem? We'll
Ooh.
get into a sharp new argument about whether hotels and airlines have mistaken peak conditions for permanent demand. Hotel CEOs debating what kind of economy we're even in right now. Also, what letter alphabet it's correlated with. TikTok turning travel videos into bookable inventory. We've been waiting for that for a while. And OpenAI building a deployable business around travel. Let's get into it. Ooh-wee.
Good
morning.
morning. Good
Did
morning,
you-
Sarah. Welcome back. We missed you last week.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you miss me last week?
For sure. Listen, Katie Klein did great, but the partner in crime was missing last week. I know you were traveling and I think you were on a plane at that time or giving a speech or what amazing thing were you doing last week?
Something. Oh, well, exactly at this time I was on a plane. So that is the whole thing when you've got East Coast or so West Coast to East Coast. But I have to hop on those early morning flights. And sometimes that is the way that it works out. But yeah, I know. That's the way it is sometimes. Exactly.
Well, you're back. Well, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina over the weekend, which is always great. I love visiting Charlotte.
Tell me about that. Charlotte sounds awesome. I always love to see you traveling.
Family, and we got the whole family coming to see my grandmother who's 93. So I got my mom, my grandmother, my brothers, everyone was there. So it was awesome to do that. And stayed at the AC Marriott, my first time staying at an AC Marriott. And
What'd you think?
I was very impressed, right? So we talk about luxury and then the bargain, but this mid-scale, they were doing.
All right, we got a little Wi-Fi. Oh, there you are. There you are. You're back.
I'm back. Sorry. They do something in their lobby, which is very cool. Is that they put out a little like treat in the morning, which was like a shower steamer, and on a little cart that said, "Hey, try this in your shower. It'll eucalyptus mint," and you put it in there, and it was just a nice touch for them to have there. It was very cool to see. But I like how they're doing all those small touches in that hotel. Just a good brand overall.
Yeah, it is. It is a good brand. I mean, again, it's to me what I really like about AC hotels is it's kind of perfect for those shorter trips, something that you don't need a whole lot. You kind of just need a nice, clean, easy room to stay in while you're traveling, and you're probably not spending a lot of time in the room, but you just want someplace nice and clean and safe to come back to. So,
yep, I loved it. So it was a good spot. Good job, AC Marriott Charlotte.
Yeah, I love that. Look at you going to Charlotte. Wait, is it Charlotte, the airport where they have rocking chairs in it?
They have rocking chairs all throughout. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good spot. You got a good memory. A lot of people just hanging out, looking out onto the runways, checking out all the planes coming in and out, and the rocking chairs.
I always think that's so funny. So, but yeah, definitely a great spot. So last week I was in New York. I don't know how much I can share, but I'll share a little bit. No, nothing. So I was in New York filming something for our friends over at Travel and Leisure. I'll just say that. How about that? So stay tuned for that because that'll be very cool when that ends up coming out. But yeah, that was kind of fun. And then, wait, hold on. We'll have to talk about this. Maybe we'll talk about it towards the end. I ended up going to dinner in Las Vegas at Pappy's Steak. And I bring this up because
Poppy Steak.
Well, whatever.
Poppy. You gotta say, "Oh, they're Poppy."
Poppy. Poppy. I was with a bunch of like random East Coasters. They were like Pappy. They kept saying like I was like, no, it's like Poppy, like I Poppy, and then whatever. Yes. Anyway, so Poppy, dude, the $1,000 beef steak.
Did you open it? Did you buy it?
No, they did not buy it. Which is crazy because they actually had the funds to buy it, but when they looked at the prices, they were like, this is insulting. It was the one guy's birthday. I was like, dude, if you're gonna go get $1,000, they're like, it's $1,000 for a 55-ounce steak. I'm like,
listen, they bring the steak out in a briefcase with like sparklers, and you open it.
Everybody's like out, they're cheering. It's a thing.
It's the Flash. It's the Miami Flash that they're trying to bring to Vegas with the Gretman group, and they do a great job making a scene and making things celebrate. But yeah, it's over the top.
It's wild, but I think it's appropriate for a birthday, and it was pretty full. And the number of people that ordered that beef case over the course of that dinner, and I'm just like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So they're doing all right in Fontainebleau.
Yeah, I love the Fontainebleau.
Yeah,
very pretty
great
hotel.
Great spot. Well, okay, why don't we go ahead and get into? Would you like to take charge here on our first sponsor?
Absolutely. Listen, we always love when we got sponsors supporting us. It makes the show great. We can do so many fun things with it. We want to give a shout out to Plus Grade. And Plus Grade helps travel companies unlock new revenue through upgrades, premium experiences, and personalized offers across the traveler journey. From airlines to hotels, they're pairing a lot of the behind-the-scenes monetization you're seeing across travel today. So learn more at plusgrade.com.
There you go. Well done, sir. Well done. Okay, so that being said, I found this kind of interesting. Our first topic today, the most dangerous word in hospitality right now is resilience. And I kind of love it. When I first read it, I was like, wait, what? So obviously luxury hotel demand in cities like London, other big cities have been driven more by favorable market conditions than long-term structural demand. So they've expanded sort of aggressively into high-end supply while just relying on a narrow group of luxury travelers and source markets. So this whole argument of resilience, it often means just like returning to the same vulnerable business assumptions, even though the landscape is changing.
Yes.
And so, I think there's a lot of validity.
There's a lot going on, right? We keep saying for the last couple of years how luxury is what really is pushing these hotels to really be profitable. And that's what most people are spending their money on, but they've lost a lot of the middle. And while that was going on, more and more luxury hotels kept opening in these markets. So look at London. You have so many luxury properties right now. There's only so many people that are spending $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 a night on these kind of properties. And so
by the way, that's pounds too, which is even more.
Pounds, even more. And so they're saying, how resilient can these be? Do you just stay strong and you hold the rate and not change much? What will be happening? So it's interesting to see what these hotels are going to be doing and how they will continue to adapt, because there is a lot of things going on in the world. We talked about it a couple shows ago, right? We know there's a war going on. Prices of gas are getting much, much higher. Prices of flights are getting more expensive. For the everyday traveler, it really is expensive. I had to cancel a trip because all of a sudden what I was expecting to pay doubled, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I had to delay a business trip that may have made something happen. It just wasn't worth the value at that time.
It's crazy. I'll just say this and we'll kind of come back to I'm going to Amsterdam in about 10 days. An economy is $4,000. If I'm trying to be there for like 5 days. If I stay for a week, I could have gotten the economy ticket for $2,000. Now that's probably like $2,700, but economy is $4,000. And it's crazy. And I keep like, how can I wiggle around this? Can I use points? All of that. And it's like, nope, every which way. And the flight is not even full. So then at a certain point, it's like, what are we doing here? They're just going to fly a half empty plane because they've got the prices so high. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what will happen, right? Especially in business travel. Like this was a business travel for me, a business travel for you, and I had to put it on hold. And so I think it will start to really see a lot of these impacts 3 months from now when those hotels start reporting their earnings after this quarter to show, look, people weren't traveling as much. I think the mid-scale will actually see a boost now because people are going to look for that value in these hotels.
100%. 100%. And what was interesting, kind of going back to this this article is, we've been talking about this for some time. This whole premium push. So yes, so it's kind of like there's been such a focus on the premium push that. Wait a second. What about, for example, like in hotels? What about could be argued, the aspirational luxury traveler, the ones that are totally okay paying between $600 and $1,000 a night? They're not really paying attention to them, but they, as you mentioned, seem to be pretty durable. Those that were maybe paying a little bit more would be comfortable going down to that rate. So it's interesting how just where the focus has been recently.
Yeah. So it's a cool article. I like what they put together and how they were sharing everything. Paul says nothing economical about that. You're correct, Paul. There is nothing there, but we're starting to see it more and more. And I think just look, I am not ultra wealthy like some of the people I can afford the 2,000 pounds a night, but I traded down on this trip to Charlotte where I normally would have stayed at somewhere a little bit more upscale. I traded down and ended up liking that brand. And so now I think you'll see a lot of people doing that where they're going to travel to some brands that maybe they haven't tried out before. And so now I think I would do that more often. So it's going to be interesting to see how prices adjust.
Yeah, no, they will. And again, I think just that focus on it's not necessarily just a premium travelers. Like you've got to be more diversified. Kind of like what we used to be, I would say.
Yeah.
But again, the long-term winners really in this are going to be really the brands that end up being willing to acknowledge the diverse type of travelers there are out there and cater to more of them, so long as it makes sense for their brand.
Well, I'm excited to see at the end of the show on whose brand is it anyway. My favorite part of the show. It's one of the things that are going to be in that economical range. So we'll see.
Yeah, love it.
Why don't you jump into our next sponsor? We got 2 sponsors today, Sarah.
We do. Do you want to do it or you want me to do it?
You're good. You're so good at these.
Oh, I'm so good at these. Okay, so before we move on to our other topics, quick shout out to one of our other sponsors, Built. This episode is brought to you by Built. They are helping restaurants and hotel F&B teams better understand their guests and create more personalized experiences that drive repeat visits, which is exactly what we were talking about. So if you care about loyalty and guest experience, it's worth checking out. Head to joinbuilt.com/GMH. Thanks so much, Built. So very cool.
All right.
Okay, so hotels, we were talking about this, and then I kind of hinted at this at the beginning here. Hotel CEOs can't agree on what letter the economy is, which is just so funny. Like really? But what was interesting with this is that you had both Hilton CEO Chris Nassetta. He's basically arguing the economy is K-shaped, recovery towards a C-shaped.
What does that even mean? I was trying to understand.
I'd like to buy a vowel, please. And then Marriott CEO Tony Capuano also pointed to improving select service demands, but basically public performance is still showing that luxury is outperforming mid-scale. So yeah, you want to try to explain the letters of the alphabet?
I don't understand. I gotta maybe get some AI to help me teach me about the K shape or C shape, but I understand that they're saying that things are slowly coming back. They're coming from the bottom and they're coming up to the top is what how they're traveling. But it was interesting to see on some of those reports, the growth of RevPAR is not truly in those luxury properties. It's more in those properties that give you a little bit more space that are like the home to suites, I think was an interesting one where I saw the most growth. And I stayed in one. And it really is the convergence of vacation rental and hotel. So you're getting more bang for your buck, more space. The finishings aren't the best inside the home to suites, but you're getting more for what you get. And so I think that's what people are going to be looking for more and more, which is interesting. And that's what I think we're seeing with these CEOs really talking about is they're starting to see the mid-scale improvement recently.
Exactly.
That's what's going to happen. I really think people from that top tier luxury, like we were just saying before, are going to continue to explore what's in that mid-scale where I get some good value.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much, it kind of echoes what we were talking about a bit with the first article. So K-shape economy kind of bending into C shape is kind of meaning that mid-scale is catching up to luxury. So, and both the CEOs sort of agreed upon it. They weren't necessarily pointing to the same letter of the alphabet, which I think is just hilarious. But that's the story, is like the middle's coming back. But it's interesting because the data is kind of telling a little bit more of a complicated story. Because with Marriott, as their luxury ADR grew more than twice as fast as select service. So that's still very much K-shape because that's very much luxury still, but they're feeling like we are shifting towards that. So I don't know. I think the optimistic part that they talked about is, and I feel like we've been talking, I mean, I feel like I've been talking about this for years, since prior to the pandemic, is that there's just been this continual shift of consumers opting to spend money on goods to experiences. And they're still continuing to do that as we move forward. So travel's not going anywhere. They're just being more specific as far as
now what they're going to be doing. The other big news out of this from both companies, Hilton and Marriott, was that the fees continue for their credit cards continue to grow. This is not slowing down. Yeah. And this is a big moneymaker for all of them. So Marriott franchise fee rose 17%, boosted by their co-branded credit card fees that were up 37%, their credit card fees, which is amazing. And the same for Hilton. They continue to grow rapidly. And the other part, which was interesting, is that they're adding so many hotel rooms. They're saying that Marriott has a record pipeline of 618,000 rooms in the pipeline, and Hilton has 527,000.
This is a lot. That is a lot. That is, I mean, to just think. And so that's interesting because obviously we're going to be, you say, oh, there you are. You're back there.
So part of it, part of that giant hotel growth is from signing hotels into their portfolio. So not building new hotels. So more of this asset light model where they're convincing a lot of hotels in Europe to join their brands. And that's a big percentage of what they're doing there. I think they said it's 35% of the new signings. That's how they're getting those rooms. It's not building new hotels, which is interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting times, I have to say. Again, I don't know. I think I'm just curious to see where we'll be. Like, I would love to just be able to see like where we are in 6 months or like where are we in 9 months? Because right now there's so much uncertainty, but like for all weird different reasons. And I feel like we've been talking about uncertainty and like unprecedented times we're tired of talking about unprecedented times. We are tired of talking about
unprecedented times.
It's always, I mean, at least I'm tired of it. Anyway, I actually want to move on here to our next topic, which I am so excited about because this is definitely something that I know has been in the works for a while. I even had visions of building this out in 2018. Sarah, the tech genius. But TikTok is basically turning travel videos into bookable inventory. Love this. So TikTok did it with shopping. Now they're doing it with travel. TikTok Go just launched in the US. And by the way, like yesterday or 2 days ago, they launched letting users tap a video and book a hotel or experience right there in the feed. Now, if you're wondering, okay, how are they doing that? Who are they partnering with for inventory? That's booking.com, Expedia, Viator, Get Your Guide, and trip.com. So what's interesting is it's also not a separate tab. It shows up in your For You feed, search location pages. So that same scroll, just now there's a book it button. And again, for those that are interested, creators can now earn commissions. I need to do a deep dive and see like what they're doing with their commission structure, because that was something I was super fascinated with. Like how much of the pie are they giving to these creators? But again, this has been something people have been talking about, asking about for a while. Do they basically build out their own OTA and inventory, or do they sort of like white label and then end up going through the others? So using their API and have access to all of their inventory. But I love this. I'm sorry, I could talk forever. So please chime in. Oh, did you freeze when I asked you to chime in? That is crazy. Okay. So until
you hear me? Am I back?
Now you can. You're back. Talk.
I'm so sorry, everyone. We have fire alarms going off, Wi-Fi crashing here, but come to my TikTok page. I still have my first video connected to this for Hyatt. When I was in Hyatt Moab, I was able to upload, and it asked me, "Oh, where are you located?" And I said, "Oh, I'm at the Hyatt place in Moab." And then it gave me the option to earn commissions from it and to leave a review. And so I did that. And now, if you go to that video and you click on it, it gives you 3 places to book. And so I have not earned any commission because my following is not huge on TikTok. But after you, I think, pass 1,000 people, you're able to monetize and do those kind of things. But it was really cool to see, like, all right, I can post this now. People can book, test it out. Really interesting to see how it works. So for bigger creators and travel influencers, it'll be a nice little bump in their revenue. But I also think it doesn't give you direct booking. I would love to see direct booking to those sites versus through Expedia and trip.com. But that's how they get the affiliate fee, because they already have affiliate programs set up. So that's really what they're doing.
No, of course. And I love that you brought that up. I've got like 4 different hotel videos to post. I've just been busy with other work. So I'm excited to play around with that or even go back. I'd be curious. I might try and go back to some of my more recent videos that I posted to see if that's something I can add.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Like within the past month, or they have to have a cutoff. My guess is if it's been posted for more than a week, you probably can't, but yeah, this is, I think this is huge. So last year I spoke at the Booking Direct Summit. It actually is happening right now in Mexico City. And I did a whole presentation on TikTok and what people can expect and what I said. And it was exactly a year ago. I'm like, we're not there yet, but it's coming, and get ready, because this is where everybody is getting their travel inspiration.
It's true.
More than AI.
And live shopping is gigantic. It keeps growing and growing every single month here. I'm starting to see like, all right, some people like selling interesting things. Like, all right, I would buy that. And so all of a sudden, like, all right, if I can do that, why not with travel? Travel, I know, is a little bit more expensive and a bigger purchase. So I'm curious to see how they attribute, like Sarah posts something to her hundreds of thousands of followers, and how do they know that that was you if they come back and book 2 days later? So that's what I would like to do.
That exactly is what I would like to know, as well as like how long does it kind of like stay, or they register that. But yeah, it's this I've been waiting for a very long time. I'm just curious about the actual commission structure. When you added it to your link, did it say anything, or is it something like, oh, you add the link and then hopefully if somebody books, it's like, it's a surprise. And then you're like, oh, cool, I made 3% or whatever it is.
I think that's a great question. It says creator earns commissions on my side. I'm going to have to do some more research and see. Like, it shows how many clicks I got, how many people click through to look at the hotel, but it doesn't show me the rate I would get. I'll find out.
Got it. All right, perfect. Okay, well, why don't we go on? We could talk about this all day. In fact, I think we need to probably circle back to this.
Yes.
Because with the two of us both having TikToks that we can actively have people book. By the way, if TikTok is doing this, how long will it be until Instagram and Facebook get on board? They're not going to leave that money on the table. And it's also direct competition with AI platforms like Chat and Claude that have all been about, oh, you can book in. Yeah. So, everybody's getting in, fighting for the traveler.
And YouTube. Like, I watch YouTube all the time for like room tours. So if I can book straight from there all the time, like completely. That's how I plan a lot of travel. Cruises, hotel rooms, restaurants, all these places. Soon it'll all be connected.
Yeah, no, love it. Okay, so just moving on here to our final topic. OpenAI builds AI deployment business around travel. So OpenAI launched a new $4 billion deployment business focused on embedding AI directly into enterprise operations. So basically, the acquisition of Tomorrow brings in the team behind Virgin Atlantic's AI concierge. Oh, my favorite. Virgin Atlantic's AI assistant. So they already handle bookings, loyalty management, and customer support across voice, image, and text. And then OpenAI plans to place engineers directly inside client organizations to help accelerate adoption and operational deployment. But I mean, basically, the company's saying enterprise AI adoption is now moving beyond experimentation and well into execution and integration. So an infrastructure. So this is cool.
It's moving fast. They're moving quickly. They really secure, like, hey, we want to be what companies use. They're going, we don't want you using Microsoft and Google and all these other platforms. Use us. We'll create the bots. We'll create the agents. And companies want to make sure that all their data is secure and their customers' data is secure. So they're really working hard on this. I'm seeing so many products just in the last week and a half, right? It's like, Anthropic put something out with something new with Claude, and then you've got something new with OpenAI and ChatGPT, and it's just like every week they're one-upping each other, and it seems to be speeding up now, which is wild to see.
So it's interesting. So I mean, kind of like the catch with this is that it's, keep in mind, if you're implementing this, it's not neutral per se. You end up being in their ecosystem. So that's just something to keep in mind. But the other thing, I find this fascinating, but like for hospitality, this AI concierge, which has been, I mean, I have literally been part of those conversations at least since like 2016, 2017. But it's not just like a random text type of like, this is not the future, right? We are living in the future. It's very much like a competitive like infrastructure, and we're seeing it kind of adopted across the board. So
yeah, a lot of
that's
people answering messages. There's a lot of times like it fakes me out still to this day. Like it's getting better where I'm talking on the phone and I thought I was talking to someone. It's not someone. So
Oh yeah.
it's
I feel
getting
like I
better
know
and better.
definitely. Definitely. Okay. Why? And speaking of, oh my gosh. Oh, I just saw this. Oh, okay. Frederick jumping in here. Can't wait for this. I don't know if you were talking about AI or TikTok, but probably AI.
Stuff on YouTube.
She by the way, has been it's been quite awesome to see her explore quite a bit with Chat GPT and then also Claude. So, I mean,
Good job,
again,
Frederick, keep it up.
keep it up. Okay, so why don't we get to your favorite?
My favorite. Do we have the music again? Dun, 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 dun. Whose brand is it anyway? Where we try to guess.
Oh my God. Really?
Owns this brand. Let's see.
Okay. We are ready. Ooh,
I know this one. I think pretty positive.
I think so too. Oh, wait, hold.
Owns this brand. Joy
All right.
Hotels. Which parent company? This is a pretty famous one, I feel like, for the sub brands.
It is.
Before you show it, let's get the comments here. Who do you think owns this brand? I'm going to go with Hyatt.
I was going to say IHG.
What do we got?
I should know. I should actually know. And if I'm wrong,
what brand owns that?
Oh, there you go. Oh my gosh.
My first one.
Bravo.
Hyatt. The only reason I remember that was because I forget the CEO's name, but he went on to work with Airbnb. So that was part of the story. Right? He created this boutique hotel brand that was very cool and unique, and then worked with Airbnb. So I don't remember his name. Maybe, Will, you can share his name if you know it here on the screen. Yes.
Do I get points for that?
You get points now. You know the CEO, former CEO that created the brand.
Oh my gosh.
Paul Manzi, incorrect. Not Hilton.
Oh,
I see a lot of guesses here. A lot of guesses that were not correct.
No, it's tricky. Well,
wow. Yeah, we flew through this. How about a real-time recap? What did you see out there? You went to the Fontainebleau and checked out Poppy Steak, the Miami import.
Yeah. It's interesting. And actually, last week when I was in New York, I stayed at the Hotel Park Avenue. Mm-hmm. Super cute hotel. Fascinating because you have to go and check in and you have to key yourself. And I was just laughing so much because like my arms were full. I had come in off of like a long flight, and I have mixed feelings about keying yourself because they also had 2 agents there that would like walk you through it, and they'd have to like come over and help you anyway.
Yeah.
But right? I don't know. But the hotel's lovely. I love that part of it. But the keying yourself. And I was videoing it. I made a joke. I was like, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. but a beautiful property. Amazing. They've got a cool rooftop bar there. Just want to give them a shout out. Golden Child is what they've got upstairs. Park Rose is their restaurant downstairs. Fantastic. And I believe they're at like 60th and Park. So right about there. Amazing property. So shout out to Hotel Park Ave. If you are going to be in New York, check them out. Sort of Midtown East area. Highly recommend.
I love it. Well, that sounds like a good place. I'm going to give out a quick shout out to a local restaurant in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know how many people are there, but it's a little French cafe tucked away by the hotel called Renaissance.
Okay.
And it has a pastry chef from France creating everything in a kitchen that you can look into from scratch. I went back 3 different times to this little place in one weekend to try all the different things that they had created there, from salmon tartine sandwich to little macaroons and cheesecakes and all the different things that they had there. I went back 3 different times, gained a lot of weight, but it was delicious every single time I walked in there. So
That
it made you
sounds
feel warm.
great.
And I love seeing someone who's a craftsman really showing off what they're doing
Mhm.
with a kitchen that's in the middle of the restaurant.
Yep.
And you can watch them like behind the glass, almost like you were looking into a chef's aquarium.
Yeah.
I put it. It was very
Oh,
cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, well, it is so good being back. I love when we get we miss 1 week together and it's like, it feels like so much time has passed.
We got the band back together here. Sorry for all the fire alarms going off and the Wi-Fi that's cutting in and out, everyone. With the live stream, sometimes it gets a little tricky, but appreciate you always joining live, commenting. And listen, until next week, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Stay
hospitable.